Hey everyone, J-Ro here, back with another Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis video, and today I'm bringing you a clear for the Battle Tower Singularity, the Maelstrom Tower, Rampage of Ruin, Brutal Basement level 26 against Leviathan. Alright, so before we get into it, if you could please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. Alright, so I would assume that everyone knows the context of Leviathan's fight by now. If you've made it this far to basement level 26, we've had him in several different towers. He's even been in the regular version of the Rampage of Ruin tower. But every video is someone's first, so we will go over the boss details here. Alright, so it is weak against lightning, it is resistance to water. The recommended sigils to bring are triangle and X. It is immune to poison, darkness, silence, stun, fatigue, fog, physical attack down, and magic defense down. So we don't see physical defense down or magic attack down, so we definitely want to have those in our team when we get ready to build. Alright, so uses many powerful water element magic abilities, increases potency of water element abilities with Tidal Roar. Grants lightning resist up with initiating force gauge Maelstrom. Potency of tidal wave changes based on the amount of the gauge field. The gauge can be depleted with lightning damage. Lightning element physical attacks are effective against this enemy. Alright, so physical lightning DPS. Unfortunately, unless I am missing something, there are only two. One is Cloud Murasami, currently the oldest Arcanum DPS set in the game. And the second is a limited lightning set with Zac from the Monster Hunter crossover. So most people won't even have access to Zac, so we're going to have Cloud in our team here today. But in case people do have Zac and need to see a build, I will have a link in the description for my previous builds in the Leviathan summon playlist. I have a few videos where I've gone in and played against Leviathan EX2, and basically this fight is a buffed up version of Leviathan EX2. It isn't as tough and complicated. It's nothing really different about the fight. He just has more HP. So there you have it. Alright, so remember to look out for that if you want to look at other builds outside of the one that I am showing you now. Alright, so let's jump into it. I am bringing Aerith, Cloud, and Barret. So this is the first time I'm bringing Barret against Leviathan, and that's because he does have Provoke. Alright, so what we're going to do is, first and foremost, we're going to look at our high wind. Alright, so looking at stats and abilities, take a pause on those if you need to, and just for purposes of knowledge, you can look at the roll stream for Cloud, which is not updated. Aerith roll stream is updated, okay, and Barret's roll stream is updated. Does he have water resist? He does not have water resist though. Okay. Alright, so let's see some things to know before we even get into the battle. So if you haven't fought Leviathan before, or if you have, you will remember that Leviathan does in the opening phase a lightning force gauge. So you need to be able to DPS down that lightning force gauge in the 3 count down time before it does a tidal wave that is practically unstoppable. Also, he does a move called Briny Bellow, which is a single target, very strong single target water ability that will raise its magic attack up while doing damage. So, and for knowledge purposes, the person that gets targeted is the character with the lowest HP on the team. So in the event that you're not doing what I'm about to do here, so I'm bringing Barret for provoke purposes. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump in so you can get a chance to get to Barret. Let's start with Aerith. I have Aerith running her Bahamut's Robe, will attack our allies in Bahamut's protection. In the main hand, I'm using her FF6 crossover weapon, the Terror's Rod. This is a triple element resist down, which includes lightning. It's 4 ATB. It has the R abilities heal and buff debuff extension. I mean, not heal, but HP and buff debuff extension. Alright, next up is the FF, well, not the FF, but the Monster Hunter crossover weapon. Chimera Wand, physical attack up and magic defense up. So both things that we need here for the fight Leviathan. Our abilities are boost HP and buff debuff extension. Next up, we have the Princess Guard. Of course, this is at 30% heal and giving us 3 additional ATB 2 times in the battle, giving us the R abilities boost heal and regen boost. Alright, next up for sub equips, I am bringing the Umbrella for magic defense all allies, and I am equipping Stream Saber and Gun of the Worthy for physical attack all allies. Alright, so with this, Aerith's R abilities come out to be boost HP level 9, heal level 3, buff debuff extension level 7. Alright, looking at the materia, in the third slot as an AoE heal, we have a Cura that is a heal stat stick and magic defense and HP. Then we have a X Sigil Ruin Blow in the middle that is a heal and HP stat stick. Then last but not least, we have a regular Ruin that is a heal and magic defense and HP stat stick. We are bringing Breath of the Earth for the limit break. And looking at her stats, they come out to be HP 25.8k, physical attack 6.4k, magic attack 4.4k, magic defense 228, heal 3.8k. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at Barret. So with Barret, we have him running his Dragon King Varvatos for Reprieve and Dragon's King Mask. This gives him that water resist down 20%. In the main hand, I am bringing the Fafnir rifle, not for the reason of the physical defense, but literally for provoking Veil. Alright, also getting the R abilities of boost HP from this weapon and physical defense, but we only here for the boost HP. Alright, next up we have the Solid Bazooka. This is a single cast magic attack high at OB6 and higher. Our abilities are boost HP and critical potency. We are bringing along the missing score, physical and magic resist down, well, resist up for us by 50%. Also giving him the R abilities, magic defense, and enhanced interruption veil. Looking at sub-equips, we have Barret with the Gargantuan Monolith, boost HP and magic defense. We have the Foam Sword for magic defense all allies. And we have the Bahamut Cutter for physical attack all allies, physical ability potency. Alright, so with this, Barret's R abilities come out to be boost HP level 9, magic defense level 6, crit potency level 2, physical ability potency level 3, and there you have it. Looking at his materia, in the third materia slot, we have a X Sigil Rumra that is a magic defense and HP stat stick. We have a Breach to lower our physical defense on Leviathan, because I won't have someone here that can properly lower physical defense, but it does give him magic defense and physical attack for stats. Last but not least, a Lightning Breach to help assist with Aerith. This will also give me magic defense as stats as well. Alright, so let's talk about this limit break real quick. I'm bringing Satellite Beam, 900 charge speed, and that's why it's here. So for anyone who remembers Leviathan back in the day, go ahead and comment down back in the day, because you would know exactly what strategy I'm about to tell you about. The strategy of interrupting the enemy before they can go into their sigil phase, or basically jumping ahead of them and making them recast an ability. So what we used to do back in the day is right before the sigil phase for Leviathan, to give us a chance to gain some ATB, get a few extra hits in, we would use our limit breaks or summons one by one to keep forcing Leviathan to recast the animation before it goes into the sigil phase. And I plan to do that here. This is why Barrett is using the satellite beam, because it is a very quick charging limit break. So you want to use quick charging limit breaks or very useful summons or limit breaks here. Alright. So looking at all of this, his stats come out to be HP 23.1k, physical attack 7.3k, magic attack 4k, magic defense 380. Alright. So now let's go ahead and jump into our DPS. Alright, so we have Cloud. Cloud is running his Maelstrom Battle Guard for physical attack and leveling blade Arcanum. Alright, main hand, we have Murasami for our abilities, physical attack and lightning potency. Of course, this was the first featured weapon in the game. Look at that potency of 784, and that's branded. Man, have we come a long way. Alright, so to help Cloud boost up his damage, I am bringing his FF6 crossover weapon, the Lock Sword. This weapon will give him a boost to his lightning damage, mid, maximum, high. Also, the R abilities, attack and ability potency. So we're getting a little bit more extra damage here. Alright, then next up I'm bringing the Ultimate Buster Sword. This can be used as a cast for magic attack down high, but then also bringing the R ability of ability potency. Alright, looking at the sub-equips, I am bringing my Zinogre Blade. This is the counterpart to the Murasami. This is Zack's lightning DPS weapon from the Monster Hunter event. It does make a good sub weapon in Cloud's kit if you're not using Zack. I just choose to use Cloud because Cloud is a little bit more relatable for everybody. But you can always replace the Zinogre Blade with, let me go pull it up for you right quick. We're looking for lightning potency. Here we go. You can always change it out for the broadsword Axis. Basically has a little bit more physical attack points, which doesn't really be needed here because we're already going to be overly maxed anyway. But it does satisfy the same exact lightning potency and clearing you to level 7 physical attack potency. Okay. Alright, so continuing on, I did put on Mad Minute for HP and physical ability potency. And then last but not least, the Bahamut Greatsword for physical attack on allies and physical ability potency. Alright, so with this, his R abilities come out to be boost HP level 2, physical attack level 7, attack level 3, lightning potency level 7, ability potency level 6, and physical ability potency level 6. As I mentioned earlier, I do have other builds, especially Cloud builds, for Leviathan EX2. Those builds should still be viable to this battle. Like I said, there will be a link to the playlist in the description and a link to it at the end of the video. So make sure to go check that out if you want to see some other builds. But just for reference real quick, you can always take off, if you don't have Lock Sword, you can always put Bahamut Greatsword in this second hand slot and put something else here for physical attack on allies. Like if you have Bahamut Cutter, you can put that here, or any of the physical attack on ally weapons in the back end here. And also for the other thing you could put here that would be great from Cloud's kits, you have the Glavenus Sword, which if you don't have Chimera will work, because this weapon, if you did pull for this is his Monster Hunter weapon. It gives him physical attack up high and physical defense down on the enemy mid tier. Alright, so this is a perfect weapon for this battle. Other than that, a non-limited option you could bring over those would be, so you can still have the physical defense down, even though you won't have the damage potency up, would be the hard edge. This is a very quick cast and physical defense down of high tier. So yeah, you lose a little bit. It only has the R abilities attack and wind resist, so only the attack will help you here. But still, it's better than going in without anything extra, especially if you can't raise his damage potency like I can with Lock Sword. Alright, well, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the material for Cloud. Basically, I'm using my best physical attack stat sticks. Okay, so here's a Triangle Sigil Ruin, because Cloud does have the Triangle Sigil boost. If you notice, Barret and Aerith both have an X sigil on them. But they're not going to be boosted. So basically, for what they're going to do for 2 casts, Cloud can basically do with one minus one sigil being broken. So that's how you equal it out if you don't have a person with a X sigil boost equipped in your team. Alright. Looking at the rest of the material, I have a Circle Sigil here that is a physical attack and magic defense stat stick. And in the top spot, I have a Fire Blow that is a physical attack and HP stat stick. Of course, because of Cloud is my lightning DPS, I am bringing Remove for Judgment Bolt. Alright, so looking at his stats, we have HP at 12.6k, physical attack at 12.8k, magic attack 4.5k, magic defense 200. Alright, and I think that just about covers it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get this clear against the Brutal Basement level 26 Leviathan. Alright, so let's get started. So you see immediately Leviathan cast his Force Gauge, and he has 4 tier lightning resist up. Barret's gonna cast 1 lightning breach, so Aerith only has to do 2 lightning resist down moves. Alright. And that Gypsy Spur right there just lowered our magic defense, in case you were wondering what it did. Alright, so instead of Leviathan targeting my lowest HP character, which would be Cloud, because we have Provoke up, now the Briny Bellows will target Barret, who definitely can tank them with no problem. Alright, as you can see, Cloud did get a boost in his lightning damage mid-tier, and he went ahead and is doing a little bit more damage now. Okay, now we got our magic defense up. Alright, we did clear the bar before he counted to 1, so we have a little bit longer of a charge phase on the tidal wave, along with being able to actually survive the tidal wave, as you will see. Alright, just going ahead and getting a physical defense down in, just going ahead and doing some damage. So Cloud is hitting for 681k, not bad. And that's without a buff at the moment. I just noticed he doesn't have a buff on him. Alright, let's switch to defense. Tanking the tidal wave. As you see, I did not use Missing Score. So this is Cloud surviving with 12k HP and 200 magic defense. Now, here's that strategy I was telling you about. As you see, he was getting ready to go into that sigil phase. I interrupted the animation with Satellite Beam. Alright. And here we go. Look at that. Now he has to recast it again, giving me time to gain more ATB, giving me a chance to boost my lightning damage back up, and we're going to interrupt it again with Breath of the Earth. Not that I really needed the extra heal here, but it causes him to recast this animation. Alright. Gonna go ahead and do lightning resist down again, and we're going to go ahead and use Remove to cancel it one more time. Getting a 935k hit in, and getting a 684k hit in before he goes into the sigil phase. This first sigil phase is extremely huge, long, 55x and 55 triangle. Like I said, Cloud is able to handle the triangle on his own, while Barret and Aerith will go ahead and knock out the X sigils, which I did go ahead and activate their overspeed. So the Ruin Rush that they're casting are 2 ATB versus 3 ATB. Alright. As you can see, they kind of outsped Cloud just a little bit there, but that's fine. Alright. And the interruption strategy can be used whenever you feel as though you need it. I do it sometimes here in the sigil phase as well, as you will see here in a minute. Just so I don't end up getting hit, because Cloud is taking a lot of damage. So I'm going to go ahead and use the heal here, so we can make sure Cloud doesn't die. Because, you know, if the lightning DPS dies, the run is like dead. Alright, so here we go again. Alright. X sigil is down to 7, triangle is down to 15, so 3 triangle sigils from Cloud, and literally like 1 apiece from Beard and Eric. Alright. So there we go, 1 more from Cloud. Beard and Eric can go ahead and start getting everything back prepped. Provoke is up, the lightning resist is down. And there's our sigil phase interrupted. Let's go. Now we're doing as much DPS as we can here. Alright, so something to note, because I noticed that I am hitting for some pretty decent amount of damage here. You see this Brimy Bellow that he's doing to Barrett? He normally does 3 of those before he goes into this 4th gauge here. As you see, I did enough damage to force him into the next phase. So expect 3 Brimy Bellows versus the 1 that you saw here. Okay? And here we go again. We're interrupting animation to get more attacks in before he goes into the next sigil phase. The next sigil phase is not 55-55, but 25-25. So, we're just going to take advantage of it. We're going to interrupt. Alright, getting our breach in, getting a hit in, and going straight into Remu. Now that's one thing I will note about the Murasami's attack. It is one of the quickest attacking weapons in the game. Alright, gonna get our magic defense up and get that physical attack up. Got 1 more hit in before we went into this sigil phase. Alright, and once again activating the overspeed. Once again, just breaking the sigils. As you can see, I went ahead and threw in the ultimate Buster Source ability, so that way we could not have to take as much damage from the magic attack. It also counted as a sigil being broken too. Alright, and 3 triangle sigils left, so that means all Cloud has to do is hit 1 time, and boom. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and raise his lightning attack up. Get a heal in real quick. Go ahead and finish clearing this Maelstrom bar off, so that way we don't have to worry about a higher powered tidal wave at any point here. Alright. Barrett is going to go ahead and get that magic attack back down. Up there's Gaia's Spume, so that he's trying to lower our magic defense. I just wanted to interrupt him. So I went ahead and did it here. I probably should have interrupted with the satellite beam and let the Gaia's Spume hit. So that way I could have just removed the magic defense that he placed on us. But that'll be fine. I'm just going to go ahead and keep interrupting. As you see, gaining more ATB to do a hit in between. Alright, making sure the physical attack is up because it is fading off. Alright. Got another hit in and going into Remu's Judgment Bolt. Hitting for 926k. Alright. Still trying to get off that Gyro Stream, huh? Alright. Went ahead and we lost our magic defense, but that's fine. He's doing Brimy Bellow, targeting Barrett, in which he killed Barrett technically here. Because Barrett used Reprieve, but won't matter because this is the final shot. Alright. And there you have it. That is how we take down the Battle Tower Singularity, the Maelstrom Tower, Rampage of Ruin, Brutal Basement level 26 against Leviathan. Alright, so some takeaways from this battle. Basically, this is the same as the other EX2 battles, just he has a lot more HP, he hits a little bit harder. But other than that, you bring the correct things and you will get through it. So those correct things, you want to make sure you bring your lightning resist down, because you cannot do this without lightning resist down. You definitely need to bring magic defense up, because all of his attacks are magic based. You want to bring magic attack down, because all of his attacks are magic based. All right, and of course, if you want to, like I did here, bring provoke. One thing to note for Cloud, if you don't just so happen to have the Murasame Battle Garb, you can always substitute it for his Bahamut outfit that he got at the 1 year that also just got reran recently during the crossover. But other than that, that should cover everything. Remember, I am gonna show here at the end the playlist that has Leviathan battles in it, so you can get a chance to look at different builds that I've done over the course of the time since Leviathan released. Other than that, that covers it. So I want to thank you all for watching my video. I hope you found it useful or enjoyable. If you did, remember to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content, and click that notification bell so you can be notified when I post that content. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Later.